Welcome to this edition of Hindsight is Horrifying, the show where two mostly normal and somewhat cynical adults discuss life as members of the TV generation. Now, here are your hosts, Darth Jader and Jason Mitchell.
And welcome to another exciting episode of Animal Disaster Month, Hindsighters.
And boy, do we have an animal disaster for you.
Yeah, we do.
It's a disaster.
And
it's a huge disaster.
Oh, it's an epic disaster. Absolutely. And Mr. Brown has his pets with us in the studio today, so that's exciting.
I brought Cindy and Bruce.
Yes, and you'll notice, Hindsighters, that Adam's face is a little bit different on this particular episode.
I'm Bane.
You wish.
You wish.
No, not quite.
Yeah, right.
My guns are not quite as big as Bane. But yes, thank you for bringing that up. I will be heading to visit my mother in
Hi, Mom.
a week and a half.
Hi.
So I'm just trying to do my thing to protect her because, believe it or not, we're still in
Quarantine.
Well,
In
and
a pandemic.
imagine if you gave your mom COVID and it, God forbid, it killed her, the guilt trip she would lay on you.
Oh my
Because
God.
my mom,
I thought we were going down such a
because I'm telling you, I couldn't go near a Ouija board. Because
She'd haunt your
Oh,
ass.
yeah.
She wouldn't need the Ouija board. She'd
no,
haunt
she
your
wouldn't.
ass
No,
for the
she
rest
wouldn't.
Of her life. No.
You know who else wouldn't need a Ouija board? Louis Gossett Jr. Because that
And
man
why?
will never die.
Nope. Knock on wood. You've said that about Danny Glover, Morgan Freeman. I'm just
Both
knocking
still
on wood
alive.
forever. I know.
Yeah,
but,
both still alive.
But
so.
we need to put protective bubbles around them. Betty White.
Yeah.
So.
It's gonna be a heck. Betty White's getting to where that bubble needs to be pretty strong.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey! Don't you put that bad juju on me, Ricky Bobby? Don't you do it? Anyway.
So, did we announce the movie yet?
Not yet. Of
No,
course not.
no.
We never do anything the way you're
No.
supposed to do. So
We said it was an animal movie and it was a disaster, and it is a disaster.
and it's part of Animal Disaster Month. This week was Jason's pick. So Jason, tell the Hindsighters what you picked for their viewing pleasure.
I wanted to pick a movie that was not only a movie about an animal, but was a movie that was so terrible that you genuinely watch it wondering, how did this
get
occur?
made? Yeah.
How could someone take something like this and produce garbage like this? And of course, we are watching Jaws 3D.
The 3 deepening.
Which, when I was a kid, because I saw it on VHS, and when they released it on VHS, they did not call it Jaws 3D. They just called it Jaws 3.
Yeah, because
And
when
it
you
made no sense why things were constantly coming at you.
because that's true. They don't even advertise it that way on Amazon Prime, which is where I watched the movie. It's just Jaws 3. And that's why I had to make sure that I was watching the correct version when I watched it for this very exciting episode, is that it's not advertised the same way. So you're right. And
This is a movie that, obviously Jaws was a huge success. It was an iconic movie. And so they made a sequel.
I'm still afraid to swim in pools.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Or
seriously,
anywhere, for that matter.
it's a movie that scared an entire couple of generations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because your parents, oddly enough, passed it down to you if you weren't old enough to have seen it when it first
Right.
came out in theaters. And it's such a classic and it's so great. But it's just also freaking terrifying.
It is terrifying. It
God.
is absolutely terrifying.
Like your parents.
Suspenseful.
Yeah.
Because you don't always see the shark. It's just waiting,
Right.
waiting for the shark.
Yes.
Well, and we talked about that on our prior episode of Deep Blue Sea, starring
a
Tom
far
Jane.
superior shark movie.
Yes, it is the superior
Yes.
shark movie, especially since the shark in that movie was larger than the shark in this one.
And this isn't even the worst Jaws movie.
No,
That's
it's
what's
not.
amazing.
Is that possible?
Jaws
Yeah.
4 is by far worse than this
Oh my
movie.
God.
Oh, God.
Because Jaws 3D is actually fun.
It
and
is, and it's got some
silly
good
and-
moments, and it
Yeah,
has Dennis Quaid
and it's
in
got
it.
Dennis Quaid who
So-
does that weird thing where he looks right at the camera and he looks all weird.
Yeah.
He's definitely better looking in profile.
Dennis Quaid attempts to be the Tom Jane of this movie, and he does a good job.
And this is the movie that gave us Leah Thompson.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
and
too.
for that alone,
We're thankful.
we are thankful.
We
you
love
know.
Leah
And,
Thompson.
and was
Yeah.
she in a bikini or her underwear in that scene? I'm just curious. The one that I really.
Because she's with Dennis Quaid's
if she was in her underwear
because she was
With her
clothed
brother.
in the
with
bar.
with
so
Sean.
yeah,
Okay, that's right.
So
Yeah.
she sort of stripped down and they ran to swim in the beach, and the little brother has issues with the ocean.
Yeah.
And you've come to find
Huge surprise. Yeah.
Well, and let's talk about it a little bit. So I can find the synopsis, but the basic premise is shark eats people.
Yeah,
Oh no.
It's
SeaWorld.
it's SeaWorld.
At SeaWorld. Yeah.
in Florida.
And it's actually SeaWorld, actually in Florida, which is amazing to me. But no, the movie it's
before Blackfish came out.
Yeah,
Just so you guys know.
yeah. They mention Shamu, they never show Shamu, but he is mentioned once.
No, you see the orca.
You do?
Kay is riding on the orca, like
Oh,
she's swimming
that's
on his
right,
back.
that's right. No,
And,
you're- you're right.
I did get a little mad where Dennis Quaid was like, "Use your spurs, cowboy," and I was like,
Well, she didn't
She's
really have spurs.
"Majestic orca, screw you, Dennis Quaid."
So after they made Jaws, and Jaws made $1 billion, the studio said, we want to make Jaws 2. And Roy Scheider was under contract with Universal. He had done a deal with them where he had bowed out of The Deer Hunter.
Because that was a great move.
Well,
Yeah. Well,
hindsight is 20.
yeah,
It always
exactly, yeah.
is.
I think hindsight is
And-
horrifying, is what you meant to say.
he was committed to doing 2 movies. It was sort of a trade-off. Like, we'll let you bow out of The Deer Hunter, but in return, you were going to have to do 2 more movies for us. He did Jaws 2. He didn't want to, but he did it. And Jaws 2 is, it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then he specifically, he knew that they were going to try to do a Jaws 3. And he specifically picked a movie, almost like as quick as he could, just picked a movie.
Yeah.
Does anyone know the movie he picked in order to get out of Jaws 3?
Boogie Nights.
It wasn't it wasn't the dance one where he played a famous dance choreographer, was it? What was that movie called?
I don't know.
All that
question.
jazz.
Oh, yeah. Fosse.
Fosse,
Bob
Bob
Fosse,
Bob
yeah.
Fosse, yeah.
Fosse.
It was
Martha
very,
Graham,
it was
Martha Graham.
very close. It
The 7-Ups?
It involved a helicopter.
Oh no.
That could be so many movies.
Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roy
No.
Scheider did Blue Thunder to get out of his deal with Universal. It was like,
What?
do it, get it over with.
God, that's dumb.
So they decided still, Zanuck and the other guy, the other producer of the original franchise, they were going to do, they're getting pressure, do a sequel, do another Jaws movie. So they came up with this idea to get one of the writers from National Lampoons to
Like
come
you.
in and do a comedy.
Yeah, this was originally supposed to be
It was
a
supposed to be.
spoof.
It was supposed to be a spoof.
Yeah.
What was the name? Did you see what the name of the?
It's in my research somewhere.
It's the best title ever.
Jaws 3, People 0.
Yes. And it was gonna begin with Peter Benchley getting eaten in his pool.
Yes.
And like it was a
I
whole,
want to see that.
I know, I
movie.
wanna see
Let's
that.
make that movie,
Yeah.
guys. How about that?
so
synopsis.
that didn't happen.
Once you're done, synopsis.
Okay. And so they got a writer, and somebody's gonna have to look it up and see the writer, and I cannot remember his name, but he's the guy that wrote the novel that eventually became I Am Legend.
Joe Dante was attached as the director.
Yeah, Joe Dante, yeah.
Spielberg rejected the idea and threatened to walk from his deal with Universal over it.
Yeah, and he had a little bit more pull.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
And it would have included naked Bo Derek
Yes.
and shark costumed aliens.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god.
Let's make this movie. Come on, people.
Yeah, I'm in. Bo Derek now.
Yeah.
She's married to John Corbett, I want to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
John Corbett?
from
The John
Volcano.
Corbett?
Yeah.
Oh my
You,
God.
you know, the guy that you were on Sex and the City with.
Yes.
That guy.
Yes.
So the synopsis of this movie, for those of you who need it,
It's Jaws at SeaWorld.
it's Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, it's except without any
The
naked
deepening-
car washes. Yeah.
This movie is like
Topless
90% water skiing as opposed to naked car wash, so that's good. But yeah,
Oh, you're
so-
right. There's Shamu.
Yeah, there he is. He appears more than once. But after a young great white shark finds its way into a sea-themed park managed by Calvin Bouchard, Louis Gossett Jr., workers try to capture it, but the facility's attempt to keep the shark in captivity has dire consequences. A much larger mother shark appears in search of its offspring, and it goes on from there. But that's really all you need
That's
to
it.
know. And
That's the movie.
the problem with
they
that.
killed its baby.
Yes.
It wants revenge.
Yes.
Yes, because as we all know, shark mothers are just so attentive
They
and
are.
gentle.
They are.
No.
They're like grizzly bears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, bears take better care of their offspring
That's what I
than
mean.
sharks do.
Yeah.
Sharks give birth to their pups maybe in a nice way by like giving birth to them in a lagoon where it's kind of safe to be.
Yeah.
And then they leave them.
Yeah.
The
Well,
mothers have nothing to do with their baby
And
sharks.
also a
They're pups.
great white shark baby is about
It's like 5 feet long.
No, they're not even that big. They're like the size of a salmon.
I
Yeah.
guess it depends on how large, because the sharks don't give birth until they're at least in their 30s or 40s, I want to say.
Yeah.
So I might be wrong about that.
Live birth? Or
Yeah.
Yes, live birth.
Okay.
No eggs. They're fish, but they give live birth. But yeah, shark mothers have nothing to do with their pups. They
Right.
give birth and they're like, yeah, good luck in the world.
Yes.
You turned 18, bye.
Yeah.
And they just peace out.
Yeah.
So,
Give you a roadmap and a sandwich and get the hell out of here.
who do we have here today?
I
Mr.
brought
Brown?
Cindy. Because Cindy doesn't like sharks.
No. Dolphins are totally
Okay, it's getting
racist
dirty over
against
there.
sharks.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one thing that they
You ever see a shark move into a dolphin neighborhood?
No.
moved into the wrong neighborhood, melon farmer. But yeah, so there's this other subplot going on with Calvin, the sea theme park manager, and he's all
Calvin Bouchard.
Calvin Bouchard.
May I have your kind attention?
My yo kind of attention. He's like this Southern Belle almost. He's like Blanche from Golden Girls.
Is there anyone cooler than Louis Gossett Jr.?
I don't know that there is. I really
he's so
don't.
awesome.
But he's such a badass. So, his whole thing is that he's got this what is it, governor of some fancy country? Like, what's going on with this? There's a photographer and
Well, no, it's a famous adventurer.
okay, but he just keeps calling him governor. Sorry,
McCirkendale.
and then the other
That's the
guy's
actor's name. He was on.
Fitzjoyce.
Yeah, the actor was on Falcon Crest or Dynasty. He ended up having a big career. The guy who wrote this movie wrote 14 episodes of The Twilight Zone.
Who doesn't kiss their
Wow.
boyfriend's brother on the mouth? I ask you, gentlemen.
He
Sorry, that
wrote
just happened.
he wrote episodes of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I mean, like the guy who wrote this was a legit writer who actually came up with in the original plot of the movie after it went from being a comedy to no, we got to do a serious movie.
Right.
It was about a great white shark getting trapped in a lake.
Oh God.
And
Freshwater lake.
well, no, there was like some stuff in there to explain
There's some components
it. You know,
to yeah.
no, he's a
okay.
good writer.
Kind of like how bull
yeah.
sharks wind up in rivers.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay. But this is where the movie takes a turn because
There is historical precedence. Happened in Australia. People in Australia in the early 20th century killed by a great white shark in a brackish lake.
yeah, it happens every so often. Some of the sharks can adapt to the fresher water. It's a thing.
It's our first 3D effect is coming up.
No, the first one already happened
the
in the
fish.
very
Fish
beginning
head
with the fish
coming
head
at you.
floating at you
Whoa!
with Bobby Fischer-like intensity.
Nice.
And this time when the guy gets eaten, the arm comes
Yeah.
swinging at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Because
I'm surprised the shark didn't have like one of those birthday party things. I mean, it's the worst 3D since Muppet Vision.
oh yeah, that's sadly Honda accurate. But I've never seen a shark move as slowly yet
Yeah.
as lethally as
Yes.
these do in this movie.
What I love is that in Deep Blue Sea, again, a far
Yeah.
superior shark movie.
Hi Tom.
They
Call
make
me.
it a point to talk about the fact that sharks can't swim backwards.
Yes.
And in this movie, the sharks don't just swim backwards.
They just float
go,
backwards. They literally did their helicopters. They literally
Yeah.
just move backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
They don't wriggle or anything like that. It looks at least somewhat realistic in Deep Blue Sea because the sharks move
Yeah.
I know.
backwards. But no, not in this movie. Because as Anne Heche says,
I've
sharks
drank so
do not
many of those
swim
beers.
backwards. They can't. We're in Roadhouse now.
Yeah. How many of those Michelobes have I drank? Many.
Oh yeah. And in the 80s.
Enough,
Oh, yeah.
enough to
Yeah.
kill a younger man, I would
Oh, yeah.
assume. But yeah, so Dennis Quaid, let's sort of explain to the hindsighters. Dennis Quaid is kind of the Tom Jane of this movie. He's
Yeah.
the rugged hero. He's kind of the
He's good.
He built the park.
yeah.
And he builds all of the kind of equipment that his girlfriend uses, and she's the head marine biologist. She deals with the fish, as he calls them, so like the dolphins and the orcas and stuff.
And she's like 30 years older than him.
Is she seriously?
No, I think
I'm
a year
kidding, I'm
older.
kidding.
I was about to say I didn't. I
He's
didn't
29 and she's 30.
Did you guys ever play this in a bar?
No.
Okay, me neither.
Remind me
I
what
know.
it's called.
Standoff.
Standoff.
Playing standoff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Of course,
I've played
we all did that in the
standoff,
80s.
but when I was in grade school, not in a bar as a grown ass person betting for beers.
Well, when
no.
you get drunk, you start doing grade school stuff.
Well,
That's
that's
how
true,
that works,
but
yeah.
never in my life have I ever had to like challenge a man to a game to get him to buy me a beer.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm just talented.
Yeah, but
that
that's
way.
Leah Thompson. She wanted to do her son.
Yeah.
So to be contended.
Oy, oy, oy.
Hey, respectable women don't play standoff in bars. Jason.
That's true.
Thank you.
You're playing standoff with Caroline in the fucking city now.
Hell yeah.
Now let's talk about who these two are, Sean and Mike Brody.
Sean, yes. Go ahead with the
What
history.
Sean and Mike
Oh,
Brody?
Brody, as in Sheriff
Sheriff
Brody?
They're
Yeah.
Martin Brody's kids.
I
Because
didn't
he
get
even
that.
refers later, he's like, there was a shark.
There was an incident.
There was an
Yeah.
incident with a shark attack where if my parents didn't live on an island, my brother would never get in the water
Right.
because of what happened when
Yeah.
we were kids. He was like, I was there too. And there's even this later incident where Mike is like, no, great whites are murderers. And I'm just like, no, they're not. Calm down. But it.
Well, if you'd been through, not
What
one
they
but
had
two
been
Jaws
through.
movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Because remember in the sequel, Martin or
Mike.
and Sean actually end up in the way of the shark because they're out. They go out with all the as teenagers.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. So they.
Well, Mike ends up in
yeah.
the way in the first movie,
Yeah.
sort of,
Sort
and
of,
then,
yeah.
and then it happens again in the second one. So you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Like Mike just keeps having run-ins with great whites,
And then
which-
they made that goddamn Jaws: The Revenge, and they kill Sean, and it's like,
why?
why exactly?
Like why? It
Yeah.
wasn't
Is that
necessary.
Jaws 4?
Jaws 4. Jaws:
Jaws
The
Revenge,
Revenge.
okay.
Yeah, with Mario Van Peebles
Oh.
and Michael Caine. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's a paycheck.
You had to
Yeah.
pay for his house in Malibu.
But Roy Scheider appears in that movie in a photograph.
Uh-huh.
He actually was going to appear in this movie in a photograph.
Okay.
And I know this because in doing research for this movie, I found there's a guy in France who is obsessed with this movie. And he has a
With
website,
3D.
Jaws 3D. And if
Okay.
you just do a search for Jaws 3D blog, I
And
don't
he owns
remember.
that photo.
26 pages of articles on Jaws 3D with he owns tapes, like literally he collects copies of Jaws 3D from different countries. He's got like the
No.
Israeli VHS, the Cambodian VHS.
All right.
And he's got merchandise, he has an original uncut Topps baseball card sheet of scenes from Jaws 3D.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
and I love it.
Different strokes for
yeah,
different
more power
folks.
to
That's
him.
what I say.
Phrasing.
But he actually found a picture of the set of Mike Brody's house,
Okay.
and in the picture of the set, he zoomed in, and you can see that there's a picture of Roy Scheider sitting next to a lamp,
Get
and it's not
out.
actually seen in the movie.
Oh my God.
So he
that's
actually
trippy.
proved that Roy Scheider was in Jaws 3D.
All right.
Yeah.
And I do love this side story, gentlemen, because there are these two guys trying to basically harvest coral.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're harvesting
For
coral.
money.
You would think that it would be like abalone or something that's actually, more work. Because you can find coral in
Yeah.
other places. You don't have to go to a sea
You don't have to
world.
go at night
No,
to SeaWorld.
You can go find
Yeah.
coral
I know.
wherever, but they're trying to sell it for a pretty penny too, like a
Like,
black market
like the
buyer.
Honey Rider sidebar where she used to go
Yeah.
to the island in Dr.
Yeah.
No.
But
For
I
the
do
conch
love this.
shells.
I do love this side story because we find out that great white sharks can inhale inflatable rafts.
After puncturing them.
Yes.
Because apparently they all have like
Well, and that's a thing that really happens. So with puncturing any sort of inflatable boat, especially since the floaty part of it tends to be white, they mistake it for a whale carcass. The sharks do, and they come up and they take a bite of it, thinking that it's a floating whale.
can't blame
carcass.
them.
No, you can't. So, because that's the shark method of looking for things. They bump it with their nose and they bite it
Yeah.
and they check it out. That's what they do.
Exploratory biting.
Yeah, exactly. So, because
Wow.
when you have all of that, when you have ampullae of Lorenzini, super sharp teeth, extra, way better smell than anyone else.
And
in the
you're
universe.
a motherfucking shark.
Yeah, it's like God was just like, I'm going to design this thing that can kill anything.
Yeah.
It's like, do they even need the Ampullae of Lorenzini with all the other stuff that they have? Come on.
Now, my question is, what if they left out the whole thing about harvesting the coral? Did it play in
It
anything
didn't.
else?
That's what I'm saying.
at all
It
in
didn't
the
move
film?
the story forward.
Nope.
It just gave a
Okay.
suspenseful moment where
Nope.
2 guys died.
There had to be a reason. In the first movie, you had the 2 idiots who put the holiday roast on a hook and threw it out in the water
Right.
because there was a bounty on the shark. They wanted the $5,000.
That's
They
right.
needed 2 idiots in this movie.
Got it.
You gotta have the 2 idiots.
They just came up with 2 idiots.
2 idiots.
They're harvesting. What do they have a lot of?
Oh, and of course,
Coral.
And it's funny that this movie started out as a spoof because there's actually a kind of a serious love story going on between Mike and Kay.
Yeah.
Where
And even
he's-
between Leah Thompson and Sean.
Yeah.
That's really more about sex.
It's more playful.
Yeah.
Well, they
More
meet
fun.
the same night and they're about to bang in the ocean. So yeah, it's
Bang.
not. It's
I declare, it's getting hot in here.
And the shark's just looking on going, oh my God.
I'm about
want a
that.
piece- I want a piece of that.
I bet he. Oh, nice.
Yup.
Thank
Could y'all,
you.
could y'all
Thank you.
use a third?
I'm going to get a piece of that.
He's going full Blanche, like, oh my goodness, y'all are just so sexy. But
Singe my biscuit.
Now they're talking. Dennis Quaid is offered a job in what? In Argentina or Venezuela?
Doesn't matter.
Venezuela.
Some shithole country.
Venezuela,
It's Venezuela.
Viva Venezuela, Viva Chavez. No, Viva Chavez. So, anyway, Mike and Kay are
Touche.
Mike and Kay are having a serious discussion about their future because they've been together for a whole year and a half.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
that's
like,
serious.
whoa, life.
In 1983, that was pretty intense.
Do you remember when that was serious?
Yeah.
Oh God.
This is Florida in 1983.
Life gets so much worse, hindsighters, I'm telling you. But meanwhile, yeah, you're right. Sean and Leah Thompson.
We'll just call her
that's
Leah.
Kelly is her name.
Kelly.
They're playing a little game of cat and mouse on the beach, and she's a professional skier, which is kind of like telling a dude, "Oh, I'm a professional gymnast." So
I'm a dancer.
I'm very flexible.
Oh, yes.
And like,
Yes.
oh, and that's the thing.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what my reaction would be. What do you do? I'm a professional skier. So does that mean you're more likely or less likely
To sleep with me.
I don't.
Because that's all men care about.
Yeah.
Face it. I'm sorry.
Oh my.
It's like
But-
on Alan Partridge when he found out that the house he wanted was next to a school for the deaf, and he asked the realtor, "Does that mean more noise or less noise?"
That's awful. But Leah Thompson is one of the she's part of the ski team at SeaWorld, which, first of all, who gives a flying F about skiers when you're at a marine park?
Yeah.
And
Well, who gives a crap about like German dancers? But they have those
yeah,
too.
they have all this. It's almost like you're going to camp in the the mountains, and it's
Yeah.
this random entertainment mixed with a Florida marine park.
It's weird too because like SeaWorld eventually got bought by
We're going to
Anheuser-Busch.
Catskills.
So you have
Yeah.
like, Busch Gardens, and
Yeah,
SeaWorld,
yeah.
all that.
Oh, right,
And so
right.
it kind of made sense at that point. You would go and they had like,
They
German
have like
stuff,
different,
but
kind of like how
not,
Disney has the tour of the world, and
yeah, but not now. It doesn't,
No, it wouldn't hold up. But that's the one thing that Calvin Bouchard says is he's like, oh, that's my pride and joy is the ski team, not the orca whales, not anything that he's built, not this whole huge underwater park, nothing.
I'd like
oh,
to
I
have
love the ski team.
I'd
though.
like to have seen the story of them capturing the ski team and raising them from babies.
Y'all caught in my nets now. He watched them hatch just like John
Yeah,
Hammond in
yeah,
Jurassic Park.
I insist on being here for the birth of every little skier.
That way they can imprint on me. And they will want to work for me forever.
What species is it? Water skier. You bred skiers?
Yeah.
Well, they all started out as female. We had to make some of them male to make a base
Yeah.
for the bottom of the pyramid.
Just barely. I'm just going to do all of Jurassic Park and just replace dinosaurs.
Well, that is
When the
a movie
pirates
that's coming.
when the pirates broke down, the skiers didn't eat the tourists.
What am I hearing? Well, what does the pancreas do?
Skiers don't want to be fed. Skiers want to hunt.
Skiers, they find a way.
All it does is eat and sleep and make baby water skiers.
God. Anyhow,
So yes, the two young ones are on their dalliance in the water. And
What a nice way to say that.
yes, in their underwear. And then older brother and his girlfriend discover them and decide to block the,
Yeah.
They decide to cock block the hell out of the younger
Oh,
brother.
Well, and I
Yeah.
like the fact that the guy from
I love
Cape
how you're acting like I'm
Cod,
the dirty one all of a
yeah,
sudden.
the guy from Massachusetts has to take his cowboy hat and cowboy boots off to go bang
Well,
in the
no,
water.
he goes to school in Colorado now, so he's a mountain boy now.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
All
because
right.
of the shark incident,
Landlocked.
that's why
Yeah.
he goes to school in Colorado because there's no ocean.
There's your movie,
Yeah.
A Shark in Colorado.
There's your song. Well, I think Sharknado already did that. But anyway, yeah. So you do have some nice story, some character build up in this movie. You actually do care about the people involved, which is nice. And it doesn't take too long to get into the action because there's already action interspersed early in the movie.
And I would not have been able to leave the water that quickly.
No, no,
I would have just
Cross
said,
your legs to stand up.
I'm going to stay right here for a little while. Give me 20 minutes.
How awesome would it have been if in the seas flopping around?
It's a sundial, but it's dark outside. So.
Yes. He was wearing a banana hammock
Aw.
bathing suit. And
He falls on the sand. I'm stuck.
it's that barb.
But then he and Dennis Quaid start wrestling. So how
That's-
awkward would that have gotten? You ever seen a grown man naked? Joey?
Yeah.
It would have been worse after wrestling with his brother. He suddenly did have a bit of a Woody.
Oh my.
That'd have been worse.
Oh my.
Ha ha ha. Let's, but here's the thing. Sharks or not, I don't really want to go in the water anyway in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dennis Quaid is still wrestling with Leah Thompson too. I thought that might be
Well,
off limits.
it's all little.
It's all in fun.
It's all a little incestuous.
Dennis
It's all
Quaid
fun.
almost got arrested making this movie because like an extra came on to Leah Thompson. And Dennis Quaid apparently either knocked him out or
feeling a little possessive. Or...
something like that. Yeah, so this is the scene. This is the house with the amazing 1983 wallpaper.
Is there paneling?
Somewhere in that set, there is a picture of Roy Scheider. So
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
we don't get to
Alright.
see it though, because this movie really doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. You do care a little bit. At least I care a little bit about Mike and Sean, only because they're the little kids from Jaws.
Right,
Okay.
right.
That's
right,
the only
right.
reason I cared.
I mean, you get a man like Dennis Quaid for women to come in and care about him, so
Unless
that
he
when
looks
you're-
right at the camera.
So that when you're,
When he looks right at the camera, his face looks weird.
is this it?
No, but there are parts in the movie where
I
he
didn't
looks
notice.
dead on at the camera, and it just kind of looks odd.
I must not have paid attention. And is this like an actual accurate kind of, brother scene where the little brother's like, dude, I almost got laid in water last night, which would have been the first time that ever happened. You went and messed me up. Is that something that guys do to each other? They just mess up their sex lives?
Yes.
Whenever possible.
Yeah.
Why?
Obviously.
Well,
If you're
okay,
not going to get
interesting.
laid, no one's
Yeah.
getting laid. That's essentially
Wow.
what
Oh,
happens.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
typical.
Wow.
But can I just point out that they have an intercom in their
Yes,
house?
I saw
Yes.
that.
Does it
Remember
have
those?
paneling on it?
Yeah.
It does have paneling.
Because remember when your
It's an
intercom
intercom
needed
slash-
belt?
Yeah.
That's one of the fancy intercoms that was also an AM/FM radio.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could play that throughout the whole.
We have
house.
one in our house in Pennsylvania. I will
Really?
I will be seeing it.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
would like a picture, please.
I
Yes.
got it. I'll show it to
Yeah.
you. I'll show it to you.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so this is where the trouble really starts because Overman, one of Dennis Quaid's staff, he broke diving protocol the night before, and you find this out at the bar where his bartender girlfriend is pissed off that he hasn't shown up, and so she assumes he's cheating on her.
She's from a good family.
I
Hey,
could tell by the way she
don't make
dresses.
fun of women bartenders.
Yeah.
No, I'm making fun of that woman
Oh,
bartender.
yeah, she's kind of rough. That's true. But yeah, so the bartender suspects that Overman's cheating on her when in fact he
Because
has
he's-
been
He's
killed.
dead.
Yeah, he's probably cheated on her. Well,
Many
she even
times.
says if he's messing around with that.
With that bitch at the
Yeah.
gift shop or whatever, yeah. Dennis Quaid's like, listen, I'm not. And I'm assuming that's guy protocol too, where she approaches Dennis Quaid and she's like, you tell him to stop messing around with that little girl at the gift shop, and he's
Yeah.
like, I'm his boss, not his mother,
Right.
and leave it alone. He's like, you know what? Go ask so and so about it. Like, completely pawns that off.
So the British guy in this movie
Is a complete douchebag.
If this movie was made a few years later, it would have to have been Carrie Elways. Come on.
That's perfect.
I mean,
no, and Carrie could have done it.
She
'cause
wouldn't
Carrie-
argue.
Carrie
Yeah.
has so much range. So yes, Carrie, let's remake this movie as the spoof.
except I don't
with
want him
Carrie.
to die.
No, we won't kill him.
Yeah.
He'll swim out of the shark.
He was sleeping. He was sleeping
Yeah.
at the end. He's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
dead.
Yeah,
He strategically placed himself in
that
the
whole
throat of the
scene
shark.
makes so little sense.
Yes.
Yeah, because you know how sharks eat very
They
slowly.
just chew. Yeah.
And without actually chewing you, they crush. Because spoiler alert, the guy gets crushed
Yeah.
to death in the shark's throat. Meanwhile, conveniently holding this grenade that they need to blow
But
up the
he
shark.
eats a whole nother person and
Yes.
it suddenly gets past the grenade guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
He's Lou Gossett's nephew.
yes.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Oh.
He was the.
That was ad-libbed.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
being eaten?
No, when he called him nephew.
Oh, I didn't know
was
that.
yeah. There was an interview I saw with the writer, and they said something like, that's not in the script. Did you mean for him to be the nephew? And the writer was like, no,
But it worked out.
Carl Gottlieb. I think that was his name.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And he was like, no, that was ad libbed. I think Louis Gossett Jr. just said that.
Yeah. But I do have to say this. So
Damn, bitch.
Hit me with your bag.
No, with the bag of Overman stuff, because this is the
Yeah,
bartender girl who
that's what I
thinks
mean.
that her man's running around on her. Anyway, so here's the thing, gentlemen. And I know I mention Millie a lot on this show because she's the world's perfect dog. The dolphins in this movie are warning their trainers, something's wrong.
Yeah.
We're really upset. Don't get in the water. Like, and I have a story about this. Millie helped me out one night. This was back when I was a bartender. I was walking her around 1 a.m, and there was a guy walking really aggressively toward us with his hood over his head and just not toward us specifically, but she looked up from what she was doing. Her hair went up on the back of her head and she growled. He was about 20 yards away and he heard that and he was like, nope. He crossed the street to get away from her and I was like, good dog.
Good.
Because you listen to your animals when they give you warning signals.
I know, in this
I
one
would have
you-
listened to the damn dolphins. I'm
you
telling
almost
you.
expect the dolphins to be like lining up fish to spell out shark.
Get out of the water.
What else can we do?
Seriously, because they try to get the dolphins to play Cindy and Sandy.
Yes, Cindy and Sandy.
They try to get the dolphins to play because they're too fat, and I was like, what? No, Kay even says that. She's like, yeah,
I
get them
know.
out in the pen. They're too fat, and I was like, what?
You got to exercise.
That's body shaming.
But they're fucking dolphins.
yeah, that's body shaming. But so they don't want to play.
Well, wait, we need to take a quick break.
Oh, okay.
And we will be back in about 1 second. And we're back. And our hero,
Heroes.
Heroes.
Heroines.
Cindy.
Cindy.
Ooh,
Well,
heroine?
actually, one of them is a boy. So why don't we talk about this, Jason?
oh, that's true. That's true.
So the heroines of the movie, Cindy
yes,
and Sandy, the dolphins.
the dolphins.
One of them is actually male.
Yes,
As
yes.
so happens in Hollywood. For instance, Lassie, for the most part,
Yeah.
was never a girl dog. They could not get the girl dogs for whatever reason to train properly. So Lassie was usually a boy dog.
And RuPaul.
Hey, hit the power button before Amazon flags us.
Oh, yeah.
Where is it?
It's on top. You got to.
It's
right there.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Sound
Nobody wants to hear this thing.
obliterated. They
No,
wanna
but you're
hear-
right.
They want to hear our
Yeah.
dulcet tones.
The
Look at the submarine. I mean,
I
it's just
know.
it's the technology they used.
Linda Blair's boob just popped out of her wetsuit. Oh, it's coming at you.
movie's a lot more blue than I remembered.
A lot more naked car wash.
No, one of the dolphins is a boy named Capricorn.
Yes.
Yes, which I think
Yes.
is a good segue to one of our movies,
Yeah.
Capricorn 1. Hopefully we can watch
Yes,
that
I would
sometime.
like. Yes,
Great conspiracy
won't like it.
theory.
I was about to say I've heard things about Capricorn.
that's a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
What,
I
what have
like
you
it.
heard?
Why won't I like it?
Yeah, why wouldn't she like it?
I
O.J. Simpson's in it.
Well,
that's
white
true.
women in general
She
are
is-
wary of OJ.
She
Simpson.
is a big fan of OJ. No, Capricorn is.
As long as I have a bear trap and a stove nearby, I should be fine with an OJ movie. What?
strange buzzing sound. I hope that's in the
I
microphone,
don't
not
hear
my.
anything on my phones.
It seems to have passed.
It has.
I don't hear it, so I think we're okay. Anyhow,
Like
but
yeah.
like I said, as long as I can defend myself with a bear trap and a stove, I think
Yeah,
I'll be
you're
safe
fine.
from OJ.
And a frying
we're good.
pan.
And a frying,
frying
pan.
pan,
Can't forget that.
yeah.
And an Uzi.
Yeah.
we'll be okay.
And then he falls in the water.
Yeah.
No, my mother-in-law has actually met Capricorn because Capricorn, at least as of a few years ago, was living at Discovery Cove in Orlando and is one of the dolphins that you
So
can
cool.
swim with if you do the dolphin experience down there. And she's done that. So she's actually met Capricorn. She's met someone who was in the greatest movie ever made.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
See, I've met a dolphin before, but I've never met a celebrity dolphin before. So that your
Very
mom,
different.
your
I
mom's got
have
me beat.
Oh, you have?
I met Winter.
Really?
Yes.
Who's Winter?
Who's Winter? The dolphin who has the artificial limb as the tail.
What?
A dolphin's tail. You never seen a dolphin's tail?
I have not.
Jason, what are we going to do with this lady?
I don't want to know.
It's a long educational process.
Phrasing. Well, yes, you'll have to see a dolphin. It's a tearjerker. It's a sweet, sweet film, but it's a true
don't make me
story.
watch a sad
I
animal
don't
movie.
want to watch it because I like,
cried almost with this movie because I thought one of the dolphins got killed
Got
by the
eaten.
shark because there is a mislead.
There
The
is.
dolphins, they do save the day. They're the heroines of the story. They attack the shark and give Dennis Quaid the time to blow up the shark.
Wait.
So
No, they attacked the baby shark.
they attack the big shark too.
Yeah, they
They puncture
pummel
her
the
gills.
big shark so that he can get in there with the
Oh,
hook.
okay.
They give him time. This was your pick. What the hell?
Well,
They
This-
attack both sharks.
Yeah,
And
okay.
They just what they do is so.
Yeah,
that's
there we
what's-
go. Wait,
this is
wait,
what's happening
wait.
now. It
Oh,
goes backwards.
the shark goes backwards,
So
and
this-
then immediately goes into high-speed footage.
yeah, which is clearly just a great white.
Just some
Clearly
stock
cruising.
footage
Yeah.
of a great white.
And they just, they overcranked it. So,
Yeah.
which is your favorite thing ever, Jason, as we
yeah,
all know.
yes.
No, but what the Dolphins do in the first round is they do defend Dennis Quaid and Kay from the smaller shark by letting the swimmers grab their dorsal fins, and so they swim them to safety. And they block the smaller shark from eating Kay because she falls off of one of them.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, Dennis Quaid, help me!" And he can't hear her because he's underwater, and the dolphin saves her.
Because apparently, not only is the mom evil, but her kids are evil too.
Well,
They're all. I mean, this movie's very clear. Great white sharks in this universe are
nurture
just
versus
fucking
nature,
assholes.
and apparently both of them were evil in this case. So, anyway, but yeah, toward the end, see the dolphin just goes out of her way to save Kay, and they outswim the shark, which is impressive considering they have humans attached to them
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
Those dolphins are hauling ass.
Yeah,
So-
but they only have to outrun stock footage, though.
oh,
So,
okay,
you know.
okay, that's true. But I was just thinking, I was like,
And
I need
Will
dolphin-
Arnett to the rescue.
He does. I thought, he does kind of look like Will Arnett. Oh my god.
Oh, and the shark hits the thing
I don't
with his
care
nose.
for Job. But it's so funny because
Wetsuits make everyone look hot.
Yes.
I don't know. You were talking about this.
Yeah, you're
unless
right.
you're
Yeah.
underwater,
Yeah.
right, Jason?
No, that's true. That's true.
You said that you kind of look a little.
Yeah, when I was diving,
Larger.
I was in the pool last night doing a dive prepping for this weekend, and it's like you put your wetsuit on, your hood, and your gear, and you're like, yeah, man, I look like James Bond. And then you look at the GoPro footage, and you just
Like, no, I know.
you look like a fat Burt Reynolds.
Aw. Rest in peace, Bert. But so I would say that a 10-foot long shark is enough of a threat, no matter what
Nah,
species.
we
it is.
need 35
Yes,
feet.
which I will point out to the hindsighters. This shark is smaller than the largest shark in Deep Blue Sea, so I think my shark movie was a little more hardcore. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your shark movie was
Yeah.
more hardcore.
it was way more
yeah.
sharkcore.
Yeah, I mean,
Speaking of hardcore, have any X-rated films been made in 3D? Now that's something that
oh yeah,
Right,
tons
okay.
of them. Yeah.
I've been out of that
They're-
loop for a
Send
while.
help.
No, look, whatever
Immediately.
technology you come up with, the first pioneers, VR, who were the first people to capitalize on VR? Porn. The only successful people making money on VR?
If I'm very
Porn.
still, they won't be able to see me.
No, that's just T-Rexes.
Oh, damn it. Wrong movie franchise.
So yeah, 3D, yeah. Go one of these days, just go on the internet and look up teledildonics. I'm gonna
No.
leave that there.
No.
She's not going to do
Louis
it.
Gossett Jr. knows what I'm talking about.
I have a perfect record. I have never seen porn, and I have no intentions of
Really?
ever doing so.
Really?
Yes.
Never? Not even for fun?
Nope, never.
Like at a party or something, nobody just put it on. That's good because I've been to those parties where there's that one weird person who like puts porn on. Like, no, seriously.
What kind of parties are you
never
No,
been
no,
to
no,
that
no,
party.
no, where it's like a normal party, and then there's like somebody who's like,
I'm not
gonna
dialing
put
my
porn
therapist.
on.
What?
And you're like, why would you do that in front of everybody? What
Yeah.
issues are you trying to work out right now?
Yeah.
Huh.
What
Yeah.
happened to you in high school?
Yeah.
Like, dear God. So anyway, we're at the point of the movie where we
Now I'm
do
thinking
realize
about
that
porn.
there's a great white shark.
A little one.
Well, we don't know that yet. We
Well,
don't know that this
that's
is
true.
the small great white shark. Overman was killed, and he was clearly killed by a great white, which I thought he more resembled that big slab of meat on top of the Flintstones car. He didn't look like he'd
Yes.
been chewed up by an animal.
Yeah.
And he still had crustaceans on him, which
Yeah,
was a little weird
crustaceans
And a
too.
worm.
And
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in a weird state of decomposition.
And his bones had all turned plastic.
Yeah.
It was really that's a bad disease.
They got him from Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
It was a whole.
It's
thing.
called
He was
it's
a prop.
called it's called Halloween store syndrome.
They got him from Halloween Town. That was the same
Yeah,
makeup
yeah.
artist. Hi, Michelle.
In
But-
All Hallows Eve store in January. How droll.
how fun. But so the argument comes up that when they do discover the shark, we've got Sir Fancy Fants trying to say that they want to kill the shark, and
Nigel Slappy Bottom.
The English,
Yes. So Nigel Slappy Bottom.
the man
Yeah.
with the
Third
camera.
Earl of Slappy Bottom.
Yes.
where all the bottoms get slapped.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale. So Sir
And his
Slappy
gay
Bottom-
lover.
yes.
His-
who's
his bear.
business associate.
Yes. Yes.
But anyway, Sir Slappy Bottom is trying to make the
I think we
argument
know who
that
the bottom is there.
he's saying that we need to kill the shark because they die magnificently. And that was just the weirdest.
Who hurt you?
Yeah, seriously. Meanwhile, Kay, the marine biologist, is saying nobody else has a great white in captivity in the world, which is true. You can't keep them in captivity, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. I know we've covered it before.
Well, I like
but
how her plan is just to do it. Her plan to everyone.
she's a cockeyed optimist. I
Yes,
mean,
she is, yeah.
So that's her thing. Is that's kind of a running through line with her and Dennis Quaid throughout the movie is that he's like, oh, I was trying to take you out to dinner tonight, but am I going to lose you to some neurotic fish? And she's like,
Yeah.
they're dolphins, they're mammals, and so she's
Yeah.
this, like I said, a cockeyed optimist. So she's trying to think, I don't want to kill this animal. Oh, let's keep it.
Right.
If anybody has a facility that can maintain a great white, it's us. First of all, no. Because nobody
No.
can keep great whites.
and she tells Calvin, you will be responsible for entertaining millions of
Well,
tourists.
she speaks on his level because he's sort of with
He's
the
a money
big-
man.
Yeah.
He's a money man, but he's also a thrill seeker because when Sir Slappy Bottom's like, oh, they die magnificently, and it's almost like a seductive moment
I
between
know.
them.
It's like
You're hired.
And he's like, ooh, that does sound like a really good time. And then meanwhile, Kay's like, no, think about it. We'll sell more tickets, a nightly progress report on the great white shark and how it's doing at SeaWorld. Think about that and how much money it'll make.
Here's the part. Calvin, are you listening to us? No grenades.
Yeah, don't blow anything up
Don't
in my
blow it up.
SeaWorld. Yeah.
SeaWorld actually had to. This is true. They gave the script to SeaWorld, and SeaWorld had to approve it.
They would have had to have, yeah.
And they approved this.
Yeah. Which
I mean, it's like when Subway decided to do their thing on Community, where like
I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, yeah, but
Because hindsighters, Adam and I are both watching Community, and let's segue for a moment because
let's
that was
dally.
because let's dally for a moment because what's really strange about because we have a constant group text because apparently we actually enjoy each other's company, but Adam texted Jason and myself a line from Community, and what's really odd is that we didn't coordinate that.
No.
We were just watching Community at the exact same time on the exact same day, and we all just started quoting Community at each other. And Jason, I think that's the happiest I've ever
Yeah, because I
seen
went
it.
cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
you did.
Actually, at first he
Pierce
was
is a
like,
beast.
"Yes!"
Yeah,
Yeah.
He actually showed some genuine emotion, which he almost never does.
his
hindsighters.
body's made of wrinkles and folds when it's hot. And
I think she's a bagel with a capital B.
Oh.
But yeah, so
she said bagel.
I'm saying it the same way you are.
How long does peyote last? For a friend.
But yeah, so we've gotten Jason on the John Mulaney train, which is very exciting, and Adam and I are both watching Community.
You know, the
'Cause-
problem is, what are we going to do next?
Well, we have to just commit to what we say. So I know you've done. He dressed up like Rick Sanchez for me. It was sweet. Don't worry about
That was
it.
privately.
I don't.
It
I don't,
was.
I don't remember that.
You weren't part of that conversation, were you?
Okay.
No, but seriously, I know you've watched Rick and Morty.
Did you
and
get
you've-
Swifty?
You have to get Swifty if you're dressing up as Rick Sanchez.
I'm a pickle. I'm a pickle.
I don't need to hear about your pickle.
Rick,
But
motherfucker.
you've also kind of gotten into Bob's Burgers and
Yes.
such. But where I think it all started is with BoJack Horseman, because Jason was talking about
Yes.
that forever. I didn't really get into it until Adam texted me on Thanksgiving. Was like, "There's a David Carradine episode,"
Yeah.
and he was like, "Jade, you've got to watch it." And so I was like, "Fine, I guess I'm doing this." And I watched the episode that you asked me to watch. And then it was like an emotional journey for us because we would watch a particularly poignant episode. We were always at different points from the other.
That's the
and
problem with BoJack.
yeah, but we would literally text each other and be like, "Oh, I just watched this episode, and I don't know if you're there yet, but I have to take a break from BoJack for a little
Yeah.
while. It's too much." So
It dealt with a lot. It took itself seriously.
But BoJack got
Yes.
way too
Yeah,
serious.
it really did.
Yeah.
Even Will Arnett was not that was talking about that. He was just like, "God, it was such a great show to be a part of," and he was so upset with it ending.
I mean,
He was sad to see it go.
the silent episode, the one with no dialogue,
Yeah,
that was genuinely
it was impressive.
it was incredible that they
the
did
churro
that.
episode.
Wait, the
they
churro?
were they were underwater.
No, the
you
underwater.
haven't-
The underwater.
I know,
episode, yeah.
but I was talking.
Oh,
'cause
you
you
were
haven't
talking
seen
about a
the
different-
churro
yeah.
episode, and I won't say any more than that
Yeah.
because you haven't seen it.
I don't know where we're
Eventually,
gonna
you should
go
watch it.
because with John Mulaney and Community done.
We'll decide that maybe that's a
Yeah.
thing is that we can decide on that as sort of a
Will evolve.
I mean, I guess you guys have to listen to all the Pink Floyd albums.
Oh,
Maybe
absolutely,
that would
yeah.
be.
I think both of y'all have already done that though, so that's not really a challenge. For
Have
you.
you
Well,
done it?
I've
No,
oh my god.
Ugh.
I'm
You
not
have
saying
not-
I don't like Pink Floyd,
I
but I've
know.
never listened to all of them all the way through.
Okay.
But that we have to do together. That's a
Yeah.
journey.
We have
That-
to arrange certain refreshments.
I've
for
got
that.
I've got mine. I've got mine. Next thing I want you guys to watch.
What's that?
A little bit deeper cut. The Venture Brothers.
Oh, I've already started it.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not into it yet though. Like
Okay.
I could start it over if you want to start it together.
Because
Maybe a new
there's
assignment.
I'm trying to think of things that would result in jokes we could make on the show.
Oh, absolutely. So
Dang.
we can talk about it later. So
Yeah,
anyway,
sure.
Meanwhile, there's a shark.
meanwhile, what's happening is Kay does make the argument, what if we captured the shark and kept it in captivity? Great. So they go on this, diving mission at night. Which
She
you
wears her mithril,
Yes.
actually the chain mail,
Yeah.
so that the shark can't bite through her. But
Which
it's-
I don't even know that
She would
people
just
are
get a
still
little
even doing that
squeeze,
anymore.
is what the guy said, which was
Yeah.
so pervy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I'm trying to think of footage I've seen of divers around sharks in mail. I don't think I've seen anyone actually wearing the
It
chain
weighs you
mail.
down. You're already wearing so much equipment. Like, wouldn't that weigh you down even
Well,
more?
you wouldn't need a weight belt.
No, yeah.
You
Yeah.
have
I mean,
you have a buoyancy control device. But the thing is, I think the shark's bite is so powerful.
Yeah.
it would break you up inside.
It's gonna
they
kill
even
you.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even necessarily about their teeth
I mean,
at that point.
if-
It's about the pressure.
yeah,
of the
if you're worried
jaws.
about like a lemon shark or something
Yeah,
like that,
no.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, it's gonna do
reef
its
sharks
job,
and stuff,
yeah.
absolutely not. But a great white
A
is gonna
lemon?
go right through.
Yeah,
Shark, did
yeah,
you
lemon
say?
shark.
If it bites you?
also known as the carradine fish.
How did I not see that coming?
Yeah,
We had to go there.
yeah,
Lemon,
Apparently so.
biting. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah. Because I mean, I wear 12 pounds of weight, so I suppose probably a chainmail would be
Yeah.
in that neighborhood.
All right.
Yeah.
And Dennis Quaid's woman is not going into the water unprotected. So
No,
But I do
always
love,
wear protection.
I love how he like shoves her into the water because she's. And I know you're supposed to, take kind of a forceful fall back when you're scuba diving, but he just shoves her in the face into the water, and I was like, what a good boyfriend. How nice. And gentlemen, I've got to talk about this portion of the movie.
Yeah,
They're
'Cause they-
reviving the shark in a
Let's-
tank.
They're reviving him in a tank, first of all, and second of all, they are handling him like he's livestock, like he's a dolphin that's just ill. No, and then they aerate him
yeah,
to get him to breathe
yeah.
because. Like we've discussed in the past, no great white shark has ever been kept in captivity successfully. They either die or have to be released back into the wild.
Yeah.
And not just Sandy from the San Diego, not the San
Yeah.
Diego shark, but every shark
Oh, yeah.
in every instance. It doesn't matter.
You're
where
not
they're
gonna
kept.
you're not gonna see one in captivity.
It doesn't
Not
matter how
gonna
good the
happen.
facility is. Which, speaking of which, Jason, we were discussing this before we got on camera. So, hindsighters,
Yeah.
if any of you are fans of the Georgia Aquarium, they're actually about to open their shark habitat. with
Ooh.
some more impressive, larger species of shark than they have in the whale shark habitat. And one Mac Daddy that is in that tank, Jason, that we both want to see. Why don't you tell us what species it is?
We are going to dive with a tiger shark,
Hell yes!
which if I saw a great white shark, it wouldn't be as scary as
As a tiger shark. My God, tiger
sharks are.
Well, weren't the tiger
Yeah.
sharks that ate all the guys in the Indianapolis?
Yeah.
They were tiger sharks.
Yeah.
Yep. Tiger
So,
sharks and bull sharks are...
1,100 went in the
are-
water.
Yes.
316.
Which
came.
I
I
didn't
won't
wake
put a
up to
life
that
jacket on
text,
again.
but it was too early in the morning for that text.
I-
I
I,
was just like, wow, my day just got darker.
We will film that. We will have a GoPro.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, if they allow us, that's the thing about the Georgia Aquarium, because when I did the sea lion experience, they don't allow you to have your phones or cameras or anything like that. They document it for you. So that they
okay.
can,
Okay.
They'll document it for you so that you
I
can
know-
just...
Revenue model.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can fully enjoy
Well,
the experience.
I know
so.
that's how they do the when you go scuba diving in the tank with the whale sharks.
Mm-hmm.
They film it, but it's included in the price though, and it comes with, at least I know the person I know who did it before, he got still pictures and he got the video.
Right.
Because if you go with your friends or your family, the cool thing is that like your friends and family, they like get this VIP treatment.
Oh, yeah.
Where like they will like push everyone else out of the way so your family can watch you, swimming over
really
the
witness it.
tube,
Mhm.
and they take a picture of you like putting your hand on the glass and all that stuff.
Just don't break that glass with your
Yeah.
nose.
Yeah, don't go.
Don't mess up your Ampullae of Lorenzini.
And it just
Don't sand it down like the Makos in Deep Blue. But
we do when you're finished. We do need to talk about the last scene
we absolutely will. but-
because it is actually impressive in a way.
It is. No, but just the difference is what I was saying. So I spent my birthday with the sea lions at the Georgia Aquarium, and what they did was they give you 2 pictures that they take, that they kind of pick out the best ones for you, and then you can pay for the rest that the photographer took. So,
All right.
but yeah, I think we could find a way to document it and share it with our
Oh yeah.
followers on social media for sure if
Absolutely.
we want to go diving with a tiger.
Yeah.
So,
Last known photo. Yeah.
so yeah, if you're in, Mr. Brown, that's our next adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Keep me posted. After this movie, I'm hesitant to go into anything.
well, it's not a great way.
It's
underwater.
There will be a cage.
It's you go in a
Right.
cage and it's they call what is it? Snuba.
because you have your
Yeah.
snorkel and
So it's
your scuba.
it's just supplied. So
Right,
you don't have to be
right.
certified or anything like that. You can
Right.
just go.
You can just be like Tina dancing around.
The shark jumps over.
The shark just wants its baby back. It's
Yeah.
just misunderstood.
Oh,
You'll see what I'm talking about when you watch the
I
episode
do
of
love-
Bob's Burgers.
probably
love
the
Tina.
best episode. Maybe
Yeah.
not the best, but my favorite episode.
It's one of the
Bob's
top 10
Burgers.
for sure.
You're-
But,
we're gonna need a bigger restaurant. Oh, come on.
how shark was it? So here we go once again, getting back to
We got the skiers.
yeah, we have the skiers and like the German clog dancers.
Oh my
all
God.
this, all
And
this
the,
random
and the
attractions.
lady in the pig costume.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's Leah Thompson.
In the pig.
Yes, in the
costume?
pig, because she comes out to Sean and she takes the head off and she's like, "Oh, let's go on the bumper boats."
Oh.
That's Leah Thompson.
Wow.
Yep. So
In this movie commits.
the silver bullets, Mr. Brown. That's what the skiers are called. No joke.
Yay! Look, we're in the air.
Slow motion. But didn't you want the shark to eat some of these people?
Yes.
I did the whole
Absolutely.
time. Like,
Well,
come on.
the movie commits a Jaws movie sin, because in the original movie in Jaws, the only one,
Yeah, the only one we take seriously.
you can tell when the shark is there.
Oh no, I was wrong. Sorry, she wasn't the pig.
Yeah, she was-
Ah, darn.
She was some strumpet.
She's a pig. She's
Yeah.
a pig. Come on.
No.
She
Okay.
got naked in front of him after like one date.
Slut shamer.
I know.
Anyway, that got real.
my-
So
And she tried to bang her son. So
Did this get weird suddenly?
no, but in the first movie
but
though,
she never calls a man at his house. I
That's
will
true.
tell you that.
That's true.
Because ladies don't do that.
they you never hear the Jaws music unless the shark is there.
Yeah,
Right.
but
That's-
I do love that they point out the difference that John Williams was not the composer on this film.
Oh,
they
no.
they credit him with the Jaws theme,
Yeah.
but he had nothing to do
No,
with this movie.
no. No, the guy who did the music, he did the music to What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
I
think,
love that
and,
movie and that book. Oh,
And there were a few people. The guy who plays Sean Brody, he directed a bunch of stuff on TV.
Okay.
And I can't remember who it was, if it was one of the cinematographers or what, but one of the guy who directed the most episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer
Okay.
was either Sean or it was one of the assistant directors or something on this movie.
Okay.
But no, in this movie, there's a part where the camera is rushing towards Sean and Leah Thompson on the little floaty thing, and they're playing the shark music, but it's not the shark. It's another boat that bumps them. And that is a sin because it's
the shark
the shark's music. That's
Yep.
how you know.
That's true.
Because
that's a thing
that made it a bad movie. That was it.
That was the only thing.
That was the only
of
problem.
all of the stuff.
Which I'm honestly surprised. It makes sense that you would pick, one of the sequels, but because everybody's done Jaws to death. But that is one of the things that Spielberg really tells. He tells everyone, he's like, I film a bunch of clips, then my editor and my composer make a movie.
Lawrence Kasdan and
Yep.
John Williams and all those guys.
And of course, they have a beluga whale named Casper.
Racist.
So original. Well, beluga that even means white, so I guess because it's a white whale.
I guess it works.
But so here's what happened: is they put the great white in captivity, and they weren't supposed to do that because it's sensitive. It's never been held in captivity before.
Well, it's made of foam, rubber, and plastic.
Yes, it
and
totally
literally
is.
some dude just pushed it, and it sort of tumped over.
and he just turns over. He doesn't do too.
He doesn't flap a fin. He doesn't.
Mouth doesn't
till
move.
he rolled over.
Nothing.
But yeah, so and I love how they keep saying we've got to aerate him like he's a lawn.
Yeah.
And it just
Poke holes in him.
and what they're really meaning is that they're trying to rush water through him so that he'll breathe. But
I do like the fact that in this scene you do start to see Lord Slappy Bottom as he does.
I like that name so much better.
Yeah, he does have sort of a
little humanitarian.
Yeah, he's got some
side to him.
He is actually sad that the shark died.
Yeah,
because
and it's partly it's been thundering outside in case you hindsighters can't hear it. But Lord Slappy Bottom actually starts his sort of relationship with the people at the park by not only being incredibly condescending to Kay, the marine biologist, but also asking her out to dinner in about the same 30 seconds. So he's trying to steal Dennis Quaid's woman, which the only person who's ever done that is Russell Crowe. Too soon.
Yeah. Ouch.
Sorry, Dennis, but don't worry, you're better off.
I'm trying to think who else did Dennis Quaid. Wait, see, he was in Inner Space. Who was Meg Ryan?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. They were married for Russell Crowe.
But speaking of, Lou Gossett and Dennis Quaid worked together again in another movie.
Enemy Mine?
Yeah.
Yes. A very underrated movie in my opinion.
I haven't seen that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was one of those movies when I was a kid. I would always see the box cover for Rent.
Which
and
is a very old sentence.
It just looked so like, what the hell? And like Louis Gossett Jr., this guy from Iron Eagle.
Yes.
I'm like, what is this? And I finally saw it. And as a kid, I didn't really like it. And then you watch it subsequently and you realize this is actually kind of a cool movie. I like this movie.
That's right. He was Chappie Sinclair.
Yep.
In Iron Eagle 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7.
Yeah.
They skipped 6. Yeah. But now I remember that. He had to listen to music to be able to drop bombs effectively.
The
kid.
The kid.
The kid.
Crap. This is going to bother me.
I just found out this is Leah Thompson's feature film debut. I didn't realize
I would
this.
not be surprised.
This was her debut. Yeah.
Because then Red
was
Dawn came.
Yeah. She was in... Yeah, Red Dawn, I think, was what sort of launched it. Yeah. This clearly didn't. Oh, wait. Is this where the guy's head floats up?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And everyone
Overson. So that's the thing is that Overson's barmaid girlfriend was really pissed off that he didn't come home, so she assumes that he's cheating on her with some floozy from the gift shop.
Hi,
and
everybody.
Meanwhile, he's actually been.
Why is her face so close to the glass?
The woman's there screaming but not running away.
They didn't show her dad pushing her head. And then this amazing 3D scene of.
Yeah, the worms coming out of his eye.
Inspecting
but now,
the body.
Why wouldn't you think that was a part of the because there was a skeleton in the water, right? That's just a part of the park, you know? I wouldn't scream.
It doesn't look any better than the plastic skeleton that's over next to it, you know.
And the giant octopus.
Whoa!
Oh no!
That man was clearly eaten by a shark.
Yeah, like I said, he looks like that slab of meat that Fred slaps on
Yeah.
top of the Flintstones car. It's just, and I love this.
And
you know,
everyone's looking at Dennis Quaid like pussy.
I know.
and he's not a doctor. He's not a mortician. He's not used
He's
to
like a
seeing shit
construction guy.
And he's
I
just
look
there
at
to
the body.
identify the body because
Yeah.
it was his employee who died. And meanwhile, the marine biologist is like, if it's a shark attack, I've seen it before. Because they're like, no, don't look. And it's all dramatic. And she's like, I've got it.
And she looks at it and says, okay, yeah.
Well, they
big
immediately have
deal.
a moment of like
Not
shared.
like my pussy boyfriend. I'm not going to puke.
I know I
She-
have a page boy haircut.
I'm super tough.
God,
oh, Mike.
this man has
Oh,
turned to
Mike.
plastic.
Yeah, he is.
Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah, I
He
know,
is so
I know,
well
I
hung.
know. This,
Wow.
She pulls the sheet up and puts
Goes
her
like
hands
this.
up. It's
Of
amazing.
course, I
I
didn't
wish
even
I
think
had
of
known
this.
him when he was alive.
Really known him.
His nickname was Painless.
Well, that corpse that they did was actually one of the props from Evil Dead before they exploded with oatmeal and
Oh,
roaches.
okay,
So,
okay.
fun fact, gentlemen. No, but yeah, so now Kay and Dennis Quaid realize, oh my God, there's definitely a shark
Yes.
murdering people in the
and
lagoon.
everything ramps up. And this is, for me, the movie. Everything that happens before the body is discovered, I don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
From the moment that they discover the
This
body,
is where it kicks up in the fourth gear.
everything becomes so ridiculous.
Absolutely.
And awesome because you've got the underwater restaurant, which honestly, do you not want to go and have a few drinks at that
yeah.
restaurant?
Absolutely. That's bucket
Decorated
list.
just like that.
Absolutely. And
Me and Burt Reynolds.
It's funny because Louis Gossett Jr. is like Samuel L. Jackson meets John Hammond. Spared no expense, except like he's got all this attitude.
I think he's more like Sam Jackson meets John Hamm because he's got that level of cool. He is
Okay, I'll go for a blend of all three.
Yeah, all
'Cause
right.
Honestly, he does have that cool blend, and Sammy L is cool in and of himself. But John Hammond is the rich guy running the park foolishly, which. Because let's say it, Louis Gossett Jr. was the one that decided, because the marine biologist Kay was like, we don't want to stress out the great white. It's never been held in captivity. But he's like, no, I want to make money. Put it on display. And that's why the shark dies.
Yeah.
So he's kind of foolish in his...
He is, but he's not. I like the fact that they don't make him just so like, I don't care about the safety of anyone. I want money, blah, blah, blah. Like he does actually.
He factors that
Yeah,
into the
he
equation.
wants
It's
things
on
to
his
be
back
safe.
burner,
Yeah,
but he does
yeah.
factor it in.
He's a well-rounded business
He's in charge of
executive.
SeaWorld, though. And
that's true.
Again, SeaWorld signed off on this.
In and of itself, because honestly, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a marine biologist because
who
like,
didn't?
Yeah, like you're swimming with orcas and dolphins and stuff until you realize that orcas are complete assholes. Yeah,
You go in the cage.
and not
Cage goes in the water. Sharks in the water.
sharks in the salsa. Our shark. Clark's.
Come on,
Crisscross.
buddy. Come on, buddy.
Come on, brother. But yeah, so now Louis Gossett Jr. is learning, oh yeah, there's actual legitimate danger and I should have been listening to my
Yeah.
employees this entire time.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Now, the older mustachioed fellow is from Lock, Stock, and Two
Yes.
Smoking Barrels.
Yes.
which-
And he's awesome in that movie,
Yeah.
too. Hatchet. Like,
yeah, he's
Hatchet Harry.
I mean,
or
he's
something like
Hatchet
that.
Harry. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, he's the big mob boss, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and we just discovered something.
Hi, y'all. I'm just going to take a peek at this restaurant.
That entree looks really yummy.
Y'all do reservations?
Y'all my entrees.
Ooh, everything looks good.
It's a subtle moment right there because Louis Gossett Jr. is bragging about the fact that they can keep sharks away with the bubble screen.
Yeah.
But then you see from the perspective of the shark as she swims up, she just swims
just
straight
goes
because he's like, oh yeah, the bubble screen. The
I
sharks
don't care
don't like
about
bubble
no
screen.
bubbles.
Yeah. We
He's
got
trying to
fairy
do
dust
the
and
voice.
magic.
Close the gate. Seal the park. Seal the park.
Meanwhile,
Harbor seal the park.
yeah.
Wah, wah.
This whole sequence with
That
Dennis
makes me laugh.
Quaid running through the park
like a crazy person.
Yeah.
But it's like a comedy. Like he flips over the golf cart.
and the
And he
popcorn
flings
falls.
the guy
Yeah.
into the water, like stealing his microphone. It's a whole thing.
Like I watched this scene and I wonder if I'm supposed to be laughing.
Like if they played a certain music to
Yes,
this,
yeah.
you'd be laughing
And
your
if Chevy
ass off.
Chase was doing this
Yes.
instead of Dennis
Oh,
Quaid,
yeah.
100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
Steve Martin's Jaws 3.
Oh my God. I would watch the hell out of that, to be perfectly honest.
No,
But yeah, Leah Thompson and Sean are, and this is amazing to me. Leah Thompson, it's kind of like Preach in Deep Blue Sea, where he gets held in this Mako's mouth for 40 solid seconds, and he gets some severe wounds, and that sucks. But Leah Thompson also gets bitten by a shark, and it literally just like puts a bad slit in her thigh.
Yeah.
I
It
thought she
doesn't
was
bite
going to
her
be
leg
missing a
off.
leg.
That-
That's what
yeah,
I was
same.
thinking.
Yeah,
Maybe
they-
tying
they-
off her stump.
They make it feel like that, but then someone at the studio went, "No, we're not doing that.
We can't damage those dancers' legs.
What are you crazy?"
F. Mikhail Baryshnikov, what he said about
Yeah.
her being too chubby to be a dancer. We're saving those legs.
And look at the camera angle. Like it's
he's in a
a
go-kart and he
comedy.
tips over.
It's a whole thing. Wow.
Oh, no.
Now this control room set, this was actually pretty cool.
It's like from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. or something.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's something.
That is what. Oh man.
Like the
They are
tapes?
no, they actually they're either the same or they are literally identical to computers used in The Man and Uncle, The Man
Interesting.
from Uncle. Sorry, it's a comedy
Yes.
with
Well, there's this
with no
vaudeville-
sound. It's a comedy.
There's
The
this
mud hole.
vaudevillian stuff going on the pier where people can look into the water, but people are skiing and it's a get out of the water.
Yeah.
That's the first get out of the water moment that you have.
And I like how the guy's like, "Hey, you're interrupting my show. If you're at SeaWorld and some dude's yelling, get out of the water,
yeah,
go ahead
get
and
the hell out of the water.
go ahead and let everyone get out of the
Oh my
water."
God. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, just move.
And
Move
it
your
looks like-
ass.
he looks like he ripped the mic right out of the
Yeah.
No, he
the
did.
plug.
And he threw oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And he,
yeah.
like, throws the guy into the water, too. Meanwhile, he's yelling for people to get out of the water. And I love how there's-
the shark's name was actually Bruce the Third.
Oh,
Shut up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Bruce.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You're a more genuine Bruce than
Bruce
this one.
3.
Don't
Bruce,
feel badly.
Bruce 3.
Buddy.
Yeah, this is actually how it was done in
I'm
the
sorry.
movie.
Kind of like the submarine.
No, the shark in the
Just
movie.
shove
Let me
it through
see
a
it.
bathtub.
Here's the shark in the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was in and out like a porn movie,
In
you
and
know?
out like a fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Mine
porn
was
movie
way more pure.
directed by the Three Stooges.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
It keeps going back to porn. My God.
And the Three Stooges.
Oh my. But yeah, so Dennis Quaid is now trying to save the world because he's the hero.
Yeah.
And he's essentially just a really highfalutin maintenance man
Yeah.
at
he's
this aquatic park. And even at one point, his marine biologist girlfriend is like, "You build the stuff, I swim around in it."
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. So
Yeah.
just chill out. And but he's a big damn hero.
But he has a
runs
big
around-
belt buckle.
That's true. That's how you know in 80s movies when somebody's
Yeah.
a hero is their belt buckle.
Yeah.
It better be in direct proportion.
And the shark
Batman
doesn't manage
size.
to get a single kill in this whole
I
damn
know.
scene.
I wanted him just to
He
like
gets a bite.
nibble on those people.
Now there was
No,
supposed
he
there
got
was
Leah Thompson.
Yeah,
he
but
nibbled on
someone-
her a
I
little
didn't
bit.
want Leah Thompson. I wanted the
yeah. Somebody was in the original script. Somebody did die in this scene,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently the studio said no. We don't.
Which who cares?
It's like it's
kill a random person. We
Yeah.
don't care. It doesn't have to be one of the main stars.
Kelly shark. Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly. Kelly.
Which okay, let's talk about this because let me ask you, gentlemen,
Yes.
could Leah Thompson get you to go swimming after you'd have bad experiences with sharks?
Yes.
Yes.
That didn't take long.
Yes.
Wait, is sex implied?
Of course it is.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. Because I mean, if it's just like I'll give you $20, then no.
Oh, okay. Because she,
You know.
yeah, because she like comes on to Sean early in the movie, and she's like, "I bet I could get you to overcome your childhood fears," and he's like, "Damn, woman, I bet you could." Like, yeah. So
Just like Cyril and the Nun.
I'd do it even if she just swam with me. I'd be happy with that.
Well, that explains that.
you poor thing.
I'm easy, you know.
Yeah.
Apparently,
A cheap
Yeah.
date.
get him a
Dennis
Michelob
Quaid.
Ultra and a date with Leah Thompson.
Dennis
He's going
Quaid
for
doing
it.
his like real stressed out.
He does.
I'm driving the boat.
I wonder if because he does a pretty good job with the jet ski in the beginning of the boat. No overtime.
Oh yeah, I love that. And they all laugh. They all said it to him,
Yeah, they repeat it back, and he just
That was James Bond. Live and let die. Yeah.
he was thinking that when he did it too.
Yeah.
He had to have been. Yeah, she just has a really bad cut on her leg. And okay.
The EMT takes a Band-Aid out.
Because
I think she'll be okay now.
Seriously.
Get the Neosporin on it.
This is an argument, before I forget about it, this is an argument that happens later in the
Wait,
movie.
hang on a second. We do need to
Damn it.
Quick break. It will be back in
Hold that
just
thought, Darth.
1 second. And we're back.
Good to be back.
And let's do
Let's do a quick shout out.
Let's do some shout
to
outs.
some of our favorite people out there on the internet.
Yes, Darth, why don't you take that?
Well, first of all, we have to say hello to our, constant and awesome fan, Angel. Hola, buddy. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. We know you just watched.
Guten Tag.
Because Jason speaks the German.
It's the best I can do. It's not English.
It's all good. But anyway, hey, buddy, we appreciate you tuning in every week and talking to us on Facebook. That's always really nice. And Kay Mooney, our other big fan, she always comments on our YouTube, and she basically told me that she loves me for picking Deep Blue Sea, and I thought that was super sweet.
Kim, wait, real quick though, the man in the red child molester coveralls. I don't mean to interrupt you, but this view of this guy
and he's holding the hand of a child is what's really disturbing.
And there's something else too, and I've never noticed this until today watching the movie. When the shark hits the undersea kingdom thing and everybody gets trapped and they start lowering the doors.
Yes.
And I actually screen grabbed this. So I'll send you a picture. We can put it on Twitter or on
screenshot it.
Yeah, screen grab is fine. Yeah.
What? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, come on.
There's a moment, and I'm telling you this now so you can catch it. Okay. There's a moment in here where there's a guy who has a shirt that says, "Let a gargoyle sit on your face."
What?
And I looked and saw it right here. Okay. I'll keep watching right now.
We're avid. We're wrapped.
Okay, watch. Here it comes. The next camera angle from here.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And for those of you who aren't familiar with gargoyles, that would be an unpleasant experience.
Yeah. I looked it up. I went on the internet because I was like, what the hell? There's no way
that made it
that
through
just
on
accidentally made it in. Yeah. And apparently if you pause it right on that one frame, if you look at the O in gargoyle, it's the logo of gargoyle sunglasses. And so I guess that was a thing that they did at back in the 80s. They had a slogan,
well, I mean,
let a gargoyle sit in your face.
Marketing is a challenging, it's a challenge. So I even saw there was like a chiropractor that's somewhere. I think it's actually called the Joint Chiropractor due to, joints.
Yeah.
And they said, this is a joint that's actually legal. Or something like that. And I was like, clever. And apparently in some cities they got in trouble for that because of billboard limitations. Like in Johns Creek, how they're way looser with that than in Alpharetta. Yeah. Alpharetta's really stringent on that. So some billboards passed in some cities, and there you go.
You could sue them. You could win that one.
Probably.
I think you could win that one.
Probably.
So
just like Coca-Cola won that spot in this shot right here. You can see the Coke cans.
I mean, it's no Superman being thrown into the Coke.
But
no.
He said no overtime.
Yeah.
And look, he's got like at least 50 people working on this repair job in that shop, and they're all grinding something. It's
a bunch of manly men grinding on things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the shark made him look like an asshole, is what happened.
Yeah.
Now that shark's got to die now. You made Dennis Quaid look like a liar.
I don't care how much it costs.
Yeah.
We're going to make that shark look like an asshole.
So and we have a turning point here with Kay and Dennis Quaid, because their whole thing is that they're both being offered more successful jobs elsewhere at a specific time. separate times, and Dennis Quaid is going to Venezuela, like we
Yes,
mentioned,
yes.
and Kay is waiting for another opportunity to open up somewhere else 6 months down the line. But now, after this exhausting night, she's just decided that she's going to follow Dennis Quaid. And he has this ridiculous line in the beginning where she's like, "What are we going to do with our relationship?" And he's like, "Oh, it's easy. Just give up your life and follow me around." That's not exactly what he says, but that's pretty much what he says. And
Hey, to be fair, it's tongue in cheek.
he was being silly about it, but I was like, "Oh, such a typical man response."
I can't believe that dude didn't get eaten. I mean, if anyone in this movie looks like he's going to get eaten by a
butler
shark,
did it.
yeah,
Looks like
young Tommy Lee Jones out
yeah,
there in the press
yeah.
conference.
Mr. Wiggle
yeah.
from
Now-
Elmo's World.
We should talk a little bit about the
you know
the
this?
grand finale
have
of
children.
the movie.
Oh, right.
Yes. Yes.
The finale of the movie is basically the shark. The shark attacks.
Breaking into the wet lab of Aquatica.
Yes.
Except minus Stellan Skarsgård.
Right. Yeah.
Used its own nose.
So the finale is that the shark, the 35-foot great white shark, is attacking as they are trying to put repairs on the undersea kingdom to get the people out. Okay.
Yes, to evacuate the people trapped in the underwater tube.
Dennis Quaid and Kay escape to the control room. Meanwhile, Lord Nigel Slappybottom has been eaten by a
I
shark.
like that name even
Oh
better.
no, I don't even. I've forgotten what his name is now.
Mr. Fitzjoyce.
No, that's terrible.
Fitzroyce or something.
No, Lord Slappybottom.
Yeah, Slappybottom is so much better.
And
Especially
his
with
mother's
his special
name.
friend that travels with him. Kyle.
Kyle, yes.
Who actually
Kyle
had, he had a breakdown when his Lord Slappy Bottom.
He did.
I mean, they were clearly lovers.
They were business associates.
That's right. That's what I tell my mother.
Yes, Benjamin H. likes it
Comes
rough.
home with me for Thanksgiving.
Benjamin H. likes it rough.
Yeah.
I love it. Where do you come up with this? You must be a writer, creative type. Oh, look at it. Yeah, he's like,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
looking at each other. Oof.
Well, Lord, and I like how Dennis Quaid just
You
got
can't
his, he's
quit
just-
him.
yeah.
This is the youngest, sexiest
Nigel's
man
mom.
I've ever
Nigel's
had.
mom was named Fanny. Fanny Slappy Bottom.
hate
Lady
you.
Fanny Slappy Bottom.
hate you.
Yes.
I know
That's
what
the
that word
best
means
ever.
in England, thanks to you two.
Lady
So-
Fanny of Omaha. But yeah, so the finale of the movie is that after Lord Nigel Slappy Bottom is eaten, he's still in the shark. He's in the shark's mouth.
Inexplicably, he's in the shark's gullet.
Yeah.
sort of going down.
He's
his
on.
throat.
The way it looks like he's on the shark's tongue.
It's like he's offering you a joint, like
Yeah.
a villain in a Shakespearean
Yeah.
play holding a skull.
Yeah, and he has a magical grenade that all you have to do is pull the pin out.
And there's
you don't have
foreshadowing to that
Oh, there-
earlier in the movie because when they're first tagging the shark to keep it as opposed to kill it, because Slappy Bottom wants to kill the shark, Kay wants to keep it in captivity to save it.
But there's a spoon attached
Yeah.
to these things that he just lets go of in his
you have
in
to
his
pull
death
the
rattle.
pin.
Yeah.
He's a very polite man. He's British.
Yes.
Of course.
There was a little life left in him. I like to think that he was still alive and he was.
I thought he was
know.
going to come out and do something amazing.
That would be-
I thought
that-
it was like a Jonah thing.
Honestly, that would have
The
been
amazing
awesome
whale.
if he killed the shark.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the exhibit
Yeah.
that the visitors get caught in is the Jonah and the whale exhibit underneath the
Yes.
water where
Yeah.
there's the fake whale looking like it's swallowing you as you walk into the tube.
I thought he was going to pull out a wrench and start yanking the teeth out until they gummed him to death.
Oh, the teeth.
That would be
That's what I
awesome.
didn't want to forget, the teeth. So what Kay is arguing about with the sharks is that...
She's arguing with the sharks.
Yes, with the sharks. She says how the shark that they caught initially had to have been a baby because it had all of its teeth. And I was like, sharks lose their teeth continually
Yeah.
throughout their lives.
Yes.
They don't even, that's how evolved they are. They don't even get cavities. They shed their teeth in
Right,
lieu of them
right,
rotting
yeah.
or anything like that. But she's like, the shark that bit...
Like Steve Buscemi.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why his teeth look so weird and uneven. They're just growing back. Did you guys not know that? Oh my God. Fun fact. So she points out, oh my God, the whole thing about Overman being eaten, that shark didn't have all its teeth. The one that we have does. So it clearly didn't kill Overman. I was like, sharks never have all of their teeth. They're in a constant state of growing them all the time.
And I could tell that by glancing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when he just looks like a decayed slab of meat as opposed to something that's actually been bitten by a real animal.
it's almost like the movie doesn't hold together.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Wait till we get to Alf to Seinfeld.
But here's the thing, though. The finale of the movie is breathtakingly bad because the shark swims towards the control center, which is an underwater control center, and of course it has
sugar glass.
Well, what appears to be a fairly small window
Yeah.
in every single shot until the shark attacks. Then the window's like 12 feet
Because then they're like, oh
across.
shit, we've been talking up how big this shark is. We got to make this window so
Yeah.
much larger.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they kind of had to fix that in post or something.
Yeah, well, I think they literally changed the set. And I say that because what happened is the shark, in a magnificently terrible scene, swims towards the camera
Slowly.
and then pauses the instant that glass shatters, and the shark literally comes to a dead stop. Just instantly stops moving.
And it's literally like she's knocking on the door, like, oh, I knocked too hard. Hey, y'all.
Oh, did I wake y'all up?
Deborah, I think I broke y'all's door knocker. I'm really sorry. Is anybody home? Okay, no, I'm going to go.
I'm going to back up.
Back out.
It's just so surrealistically bad,
But here's the thing, in this god-awful, trashy movie,
which
okay.
I love. I'm not going to lie.
oh yeah, no, it's hilarious.
It's trash-tastic.
I the last time I watched this movie, I watched it with Elaine and David, and we literally laughed for like the last hour. We were just
You
laughing.
told me, you were like, we're just laughing our way
just
through this right
laughing.
now.
Like it's just hilarious.
It's nothing other than what it is.
Yeah.
Like it.
But here's the thing: even for a crappy movie like this, in 1983, when you wanted to film something, you had to do it the hard way. Okay?
Yeah, there wasn't digital.
The shark smashes through the glass, and then we cut to and we see Louis Gossett Jr. and his assistant lady.
And his nephew Brody.
And his-
not Brody. His nephew.
I can't
Just
remember.
call him nephew.
Yeah,
That's what
nephew.
he does.
Yeah.
He's like, if you want to keep your job, nephew,
I think yeah,
which was ad lib.
I think Lou Gossett Jr. just forgot his name. And
Right.
just said nephew. But
We're
anyway,
both black,
so
man. I'm just
Well,
gonna
he
call him
called him
nephew.
At first,
Damn.
he said you can't say that.
but they have
made
to
it through
do
the disaster movie. Let me point that out.
well. One of them did. Nephew gets eaten.
No, but Abed says that Donald Glover's the first
Oh,
black
that's
man
true.
to
That's
make
true.
it through
That's
a
true.
situation like that, and that's not true because
Even Keith
LL
David
Cool J
doesn't
did
make
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, make your point.
Well, so when the glass shatters, of course, you have to do this effect where lots and lots of water comes into the
Rushes in.
floods into the control room
Mm-hmm.
and floods it out, and then you've got this whole new level of drama, and people without scuba tanks you got to get out.
Yeah.
The way that they did this, okay, they built this huge set that they filmed all this stuff on. When it came time to film this,
There's
and
Slappy Bottom.
here's Slappy
He's
Bottom's
inside.
last ride.
But he's inside the mouth. He's looking out of the mouth, and you can see the teeth, but the teeth aren't getting him.
No.
So he has a muffled groan and a grunt,
Yeah.
and then blood
The
comes out of
subtitles
him.
are great.
I hope that's what I say. Although my last words are muffled groan, grunt.
But not the actual sound. Like I
No,
want,
I wanna say
want
it.
my last. In that case, I want my last words to be scoff or word rather. But yeah. So Slappy Bottom's last ride.
Yeah.
As you were saying. I know, right? So Slappy Bottom is
Yeah.
proffering this grenade, which we know the pin has to be
Which
pulled.
he
And it's
didn't.
perfectly positioned so Dennis Quaid can reach
Yeah,
it.
and they didn't even set it up, like show him in like a close up taking the grenade,
No.
Like they could have put a shot in there with him like, I'm going to blow myself up and the shark,
Right.
Yeah, that, and which would have been badass,
It
but then the
would have
movie would have
been.
ended an hour ago.
No,
so
but and then he dies,
how
though.
it should have ended.
Like
He dies before he can get
He
to
dies
it.
before he can pull the
Like
pin.
his hand gets cut
yeah,
off by
yeah,
the teeth. And
yeah. Yeah, that would
he couldn't pull it with his teeth.
But then his
Yeah.
hand would have floated away, and worms
In
and
3D.
Yeah, in 3D.
Yes,
Right
exactly.
on.
The 3D bidding.
But so
The shark got loose. That's crazy.
I never would have guessed. So they built this massive set. When it was time to do this scene, they disconnected the control room set from everything else.
Okay.
They have a giant crane that picks up the entire control room. So it's now above this huge pool of water.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
They have this massive bucket of water next to it.
Yeah.
They cover the set in tarps to keep the light out, except for one particular place where the water can come in. They do a test, and they have divers standing in the set to see, like, is this going to be okay for Louis Gossett? This was Louis Gossett Jr.'s last day on set.
Oh, sorry. This is where Slappy Bottom's lover discovers that he's dead.
Yeah, you're single now, dude.
Oh no.
I never got to be put in his will. So Louis
Governor.
Governor.
you can't save him. So Louis Gossett Jr.'s
So yeah,
last day on set.
it's Louis Gossett Jr.'s last day on set. This is it for him. He's done. You know, he flew in to do this last scene.
Okay.
So they put the divers in, and the way the shot works is they yell action. This big bucket of water turns over. Water comes in, hits everybody.
Okay.
Then they drop the set into the pool.
To
Flood
show
the
flooding,
set.
yeah.
Wow.
And it
That's actually really impressive.
It really was. It was, but the problem was when they did it, the divers were knocked all over the place. Their wetsuits got torn.
Oh,
It was.
no.
They totally were like, "This is
Oh no.
this is way too tough
Yeah.
for the actors."
Sure.
So they had to basically say, "Well, we got to come up with something else to do."
Mhm.
So that's why if you see it, it's obviously stunt people in that shot.
Yeah, you don't see anybody's face really. It's just
No,
Mm-mm.
because they couldn't get Louis. They didn't want to put Louis Gossett Jr. in it because
Exactly.
he had a bad knee, and the guy was like, the actress weighs 90 pounds. We have these scuba divers who are being tossed around.
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna work.
But the delay, so they get the stunt people in. It's like a week later they have to do the scene. The delay costs the production company $50,000. A movie like this, a crappy movie
Which
like
only
this,
cost 18 million,
18 million,
to
yeah.
make, and it grossed something like 88.
it was a big.
It was
a moneymaker.
surprisingly successful.
Its opening weekend was huge. It dipped pretty quickly.
I think it
after
earned
that.
like its
Yeah.
first 13 mil or so
Yeah.
in the first weekend, if
Yeah.
memory serves.
But and I do like that. They're doing underwater welding, which to me is just wizardry. It's like that shouldn't happen.
That's
Yeah.
some Harry
That-
Potter
that's-
level shit right
That's
there.
not possible. You can't do welding underwater.
Wait, fire doesn't exist underwater.
No, I see that and I'm just like, no, can't happen.
Estoy confundida. I don't know what's happening. My world is a lie. Anyway, so they are rescuing the people in the Jonah and the Whale exhibit.
Yeah, the
And
guy
then-
who's telling everyone, "Hey, y'all, look at my shirt."
Let
Let a gargoyle.
sit on your face.
Hey, lady, you know what they used to call me in college?
Ah, gross. But so Dennis Quaid and Kay, they save the day, and then they save the people in the actual tube, and then they have to go save everybody in the wet lab. So that's exciting. They just save the day everywhere they go.
No, it's wonderful, except for nephew.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
gets
poor
the crap. beaten out
Nephew,
of him,
he
yeah.
gets
Nephew
eaten
and Slappy Bottom.
like old
Yeah.
school way, where the teeth actually crunch him all up and everything.
Yeah, there
Very
is so
slowly,
much
just-
crunching noise. In
It
this
reminds
movie.
me. Did
Yeah.
you guys ever see the original version of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
No,
I think
The one prior to Liam Neeson.
I think
So,
I think many years ago.
okay,
yeah.
so puppetry was involved to create Aslan the lion, and when he would talk, it was so unrealistic. It was literally just like, let me tell you the story of how this happened, and he would say like an entire sentence, and meanwhal his maw is
like
just
Teddy
sort of,
Ruxpin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Teddy Ruxpin.
White lady.
White lady. Ooh, maybe that should be a thing. That we'll pick a series.
Okay.
Because I haven't watched it in a while either. Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh yes,
We
yeah.
talked about it.
I like how the shark constantly opens and closes its mouth like, y'all look at these chompers.
Hey.
I'm gonna eat you with these.
No, seriously, that's how slow. I'm gonna eat everybody in this room, y'all. You don't even
Yeah.
know. I'm coming for that hairy leg. But yeah. That speaking of Teddy Ruxpin's, that was one of my proudest Instagram posts. Was from Shivers, where it was a Teddy Ruxpin holding a beer and smoking a cigarette, and it's like when you get infected by the fire or the parasite.
Yes.
Suddenly, Teddy Ruxpin is like, "Let's have an orgy."
That is awesome. That was good.
That was a while ago.
gotta go back
That was
and
a
look
while
at
ago,
that
but
one.
one of my proudest moments ever on social media, sadly. But that's,
Huge in Japan.
But now the look at the dolphins are
they saved the day.
they saved the day.
Yay, Delfines.
Sandy. Who was
Sandy
it?
and Cindy. Yep.
Sandy and Cindy. Okay.
Yep.
Now one gets close to the mouth.
Yeah,
One
and-
gets close to the mouth. You think that,
They
oh my
just go
God,
mad.
They just got married.
Bob's Burgers again. It's Tina, isn't it?
No, that's,
Who is that?
that's
Whenever you hear that Jersey accent, that's
Yeah.
Linda.
Oh,
That's
Linda,
Liz.
right,
She's
right.
in love with the raccoons that
Oh,
live in the alley.
right.
She's
Yes,
like,
yes,
oh,
of
that's
course.
the King Trash Mouth. He's gay. Really, Lynn? He's gay. Yeah, he and his boyfriend just got married.
oh, what gay raccoons can adopt? And I like how the shark is like, it's like a serial killer. Like, I'm gonna get in there. He
Yeah.
like sticks his hand in.
You're going down.
Here's Brucey.
I really wish that the shark would have stuck his fin in.
Speaking of serial killers, I even wrote a note to myself where Kay figures out that the mother shark is inside the park, and I was like, she's calling from inside the house.
Yeah.
Because you find out, like we said, that the mother's she's just looking after her baby.
Yeah.
She's misunderstood.
Wasn't she stuck in the intake or
Well,
something?
They trapped her in the intake.
Yeah.
it's kind of unclear if she was trapped in it.
Because
or
she's
if-
so big that how did she get in?
And
The
well,
intake wasn't that large.
yeah, and like the inciting thing is whenever they shut down one of the pumps, but they leave the other one on, and shutting it off is what lets the shark in.
Yeah, the logic and the physics are really
Even though they were
confusing.
pumping water into
into
I
the
fucking
park.
don't know.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Oh, there's the gargoyle guy.
'cause Dennis Quaid makes a big deal about how there's 1 million gallons of water
Yeah,
coming
rushing
in every hour.
into the park.
That's
yeah.
how when they're looking for Overman's body potentially, he's like, no, if he drowned or was hurt and died in the water, he would have washed up here because this
the
is where the
Golden
current
Girls,
goes.
Yeah,
right?
that old lady looks genuinely scared.
Yeah.
I don't think she knew she was in a movie.
Oh no. Maybe it was one of those.
There's
situations-
gargoyle. No, is that gargoyle?
Maybe they weren't told they were in a movie.
I was
And
about
it
to
was
say,
just it's
it's
a
Florida.
simulation
Yeah.
inside a simulation inside another simulation. But yeah, so this one lady's dressed like she's in space. In the
Oh, here
wetland.
comes the shark.
The slow mo.
Here
Oh,
comes
yes.
the shark.
Do it.
Here comes the
I have
shark.
to get a better.
They're looking.
Dennis Quaid's face. Oh my god.
It's slow motion now.
Screaming.
and we just have
Now,
hit the
this is
brakes. Hit the brakes.
You can't hit the brakes when
And
you're
it
in
just-
water.
So
Screaming,
that's the
yelling.
bucket,
Yes.
and now they're lowering the set into the pool,
Oh my
And it's on
God.
an angle too.
Yeah.
That's even better.
and you can see a
That makes
little bit of
sense.
sunlight.
That makes sense
as it
because
comes
the
in.
water
Yeah.
comes from the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I didn't even pay
Yeah.
attention to that because this is such a shitty movie.
You know, and I always thought it's weird. I mean, this is
Oh, bye,
sort
nephew.
of a
Bye.
Mandela effect, but I always thought Louis Gossett Jr. died.
Huh.
I always thought he did, but he
Oh.
rescues. I know.
Oh.
I'm gonna get them shoes.
I didn't know. I
They're
didn't
the
know.
garnish on top of them hairy legs.
And Mr. Slappy Bottom's still in the throat
Yeah.
while he's eating another person. I don't
that's,
get it.
That's true. Nephew passes him, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's still got the proffered grenade. And so Dennis Quaid,
And then the Ray Harryhausen shark.
God,
It's like
Yes.
Clash of the Titans shark.
Oh, I know.
seriously. And it
Hey
just-
guys, y'all need this?
Yeah. I've got this very handy
Look,
thing.
there's
Look.
a grenade over there.
Don't worry about just like getting the hell out of
Yeah.
there.
No, how are we going to get to the grenade?
Yeah, exactly.
Look, there just happens to be a coat hanger right here.
Yeah.
There's an L
And
hook.
just, he sticks
Could you imagine a 35-foot great white shark? Yeah, let me just reach in there and pull
Yeah.
out his teeth.
'Cause
and
as
the,
we've
and the
just-
shark's just hanging out.
Oh, yeah. He's like, what are you doing?
It looks like a really crappy ride at Universal.
It does.
I heard they got rid of the shark.
They did.
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah, they got rid
Yeah,
of
they
it.
got rid of Jaws
Yeah.
a while ago.
Bastards.
Yeah, it was replaced by a Minions ride.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I can't. But
There we go.
kind of
Here
like
we
how
go.
Back to the Future was replaced by The Simpsons.
Oh.
And I'm over that too. So
He's just laying in there on the tongue,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
apparently sharks have tongues. Didn't know that. Educational
Oh,
movie.
there you got it.
All right.
And
And-
click.
Man, that thing just comes off like for no reason.
and thank God Dennis Quaid can swim at like 50 feet per second.
Yeah.
Because God, he gets away. Oh well, they hide.
well, they
behind
both
the,
go behind
they
the
hide
Control
behind-
panel, yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Boom.
kablooey again.
Hamster Huey and the gooey kablooey.
And then here we
Look out,
go.
here comes the dentures.
Freeze! And they just stop right
Ah.
Because this is
And that's literally how the movie ends.
No, it gets worse with the dolphins.
Yeah,
The dolphins at the end.
because the dolphins do come in, they try to rescue the people. They're ramming the gills of
Yeah.
sharks, which they actually do.
They
in real
do.
life.
Oh, yeah.
But
Sharks
watch
don't mess
what
around
these
with
dolphins do at the end. Just watch what they do.
It's hilarious.
You know, they just suffered a huge battle, and they're looking for the dolphins, and they're like, "Hooray! Now I'm going to make out a little bit," and then
I'm going to have sex with
Mike,
you. The only thing that can
the
stop me.
dolphins. What can we do to really make this ending dramatic?
Oh my God, did the other dolphin not make it? So we have
Yes.
Cindy. Cindy's okay.
Cindy's okay.
And we're calling for
Where's
Sandy.
Where's Sandy? Where's Sandy?
And it's so funny because you have to, I guess, let me ask you, gentlemen, how like pissed off would you be if you had just survived this big, ordeal with your woman and, instead of kissing you or like
Yeah,
checking
she's
on you,
gone.
she's like, "Where are the damn dolphins?" And you just-
Well, let me tell you what I wouldn't be doing.
What?
If I had just gone through a battle with a
Shark?
35-foot
I wouldn't
great
be
white
staying in the water.
and the shark's baby. Okay, so we know that she had a baby.
She had, we don't know
so
how many.
I probably wouldn't be slapping the water.
No. But
Trying to
here's
attract
the end.
her.
Ready? Look
Here
at
it goes. All right.
And
Yes.
it's so
freeze frame. And
don't
I think it's the same.
you forget about me.
No.
The dolphins are headed to detention next week. So that was Jaws 3D.
That was it,
The
folks.
3
Oh
deepening.
boy.
Look, don't blame us, okay? We had nothing to do with the movie.
Yes.
Well, what Jason isn't telling you guys is that he was actually he was a lifeguard in this movie.
Yes.
And
I was the guy with the shirt that said the
Yes.
gargoyle shit on your
Mustache
face.
rides a nickel. I saw that
Yeah.
one.
oh my god,
I pay
Anyway.
you.
So I guess we have no other recourse, gentlemen, but to go out to Steinfeld. So
I don't, oh God, I don't even know.
right.
I think it's probably like, if I'm being honest, it would probably have to be like a 7. Because as a kid,
Okay.
Jaws was, oh my God, it was terrifying. Incredible movie. And Jaws 2, but it was still good.
Mhm.
Little freaky, a little scary. There were moments that traumatized me when Brody turns over the thing and the dead body's on it.
Yeah.
That scared that. Jaws 3 was like, fuck it, I hate this movie. This is
Yeah.
horrible. Now I watch it and I laugh my ass off. So for the wrong reasons,
It improved.
it improved. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll give it a 6.5.
Okay, 6.5. That's fair.
Now, I never saw it as a child, but if I did, I probably would have found it scary because there's a shark in it, and I loved Jaws, so I would have regarded it a little bit more. But as I watch it now, I just the whole time I was thinking about the guys pitching them. It's just let's pitch this film, and I like Jason. He's a writer. Such amazing stuff. I know other writers that just produce such amazing stuff that never gets produced, but this got
This got
produced.
made
This
18 million bucks.
I know. So
And the guy who directed it never directed. This was his first and last movie.
yeah.
He was a production designer. He was the production designer on Close Encounters.
wow.
So
You've mentioned this.
Had a
They
career.
gave him his big shot,
um,
and he blew
So
it.
doesn't that make you feel better? He's directed us, and he still talks to us. So
Oh, yes.
and he wants
Yeah.
to direct stuff with us.
And
in
he's
the
still
future.
doing things.
but if I
Yeah.
made Jaws 3D, I wouldn't talk to you.
I don't know.
That'd
That'd be
be
my
my-
crown jewel in my cap. I can quit now.
It'd
I
be
can
my
retire.
white whale.
so I'm going to give it a 4.
All right.
4,
Yeah,
that's
it's
fair.
below 5.
Okay. 10.5.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to go straight 5. And I'll tell you why. This was one of those movies that was constantly on the television when I was younger.
The
and,
telly.
The telly.
TBS played it a lot.
TBS
Yeah.
Superstation, yeah. So and it's one of those things, and we've talked. And does Mandela effect apply to this, Jason? Where we've talked about how you feel like you've seen a movie and you haven't,
Yeah, I think so.
because
Yeah.
it's been on loop on TV
Yeah.
so much when you were younger that you've seen pretty much the entire story. You know what happens.
Not in sequence.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you've just never sat and watched
Yeah.
it all the way through. So maybe it's a little Mandela-ish for me because I felt like I'd seen it and I was like, oh Jesus, I got to sit through the 3 deepening. Okay. But then I was like, oh my God, all this other stuff is happening that I never,
Yeah.
and maybe I was just a little kid and wasn't paying attention to the boring parts. I don't know if I've ever actually seen this movie all the way through before this week.
You probably haven't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most likely not.
Honestly, yeah. Because, I mean, there's not enough in it to really hold your attention. Maybe if you were sick and home from school and it was on,
But
you
then you're
know,
watching The Price
You were
is
too
Right.
sick to get up and change
Yeah,
the channel.
yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have a
Yeah.
remote.
So I honestly couldn't tell you if I've seen it all the way through before this week. So I've got to give it a straight 5.
All right.
I'm being
There you
super
go.
fair.
That's good.
I think that makes sense.
I think
I
that's
think
a
this
fair,
movie, yeah.
fair and square for
Split
this.
the uprights.
For what
It's
this movie
very
is.
close to a 5.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Also,
one.
I'm noticing that whoever did the artwork for Croc
yeah.
did not use a comma where they should have. See, it says it's hunting season and you're the prey.
Yep.
Oh,
The
sorry.
English major in me.
You
is
know it's a
crying right
crappy
now.
movie now.
This is true.
You know.
Well, it looks like the visual that Slappy Bottom had before he died.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking.
You know,
that.
he's inside
I
the
don't see a
Croc's
grenade,
mouth.
so it must
be a
different movie.
I am gonna do a shirt. I'm gonna do some kind of artwork, and I'm gonna do a Lord Nigel Slappy Bottom.
You've said this kind of thing
I know,
before
but
to us.
I
and
went
This
back.
time it's real.
Yeah, but I went back this week and I actually was going through the store and trying to figure out stuff to do. And I said, I need one to do. And I couldn't think of one of the ones.
Well, how about each of us comes up with like a new merchandise
That's-
item,
yeah.
and then you can design it for us. Sound good?
Lord Slappy Bottom.
We're talking about 'em. And we can even theme it. Now that we're actually doing themed months, we could do, Hindsight is Horrifying Animal Disaster Month, or just Disaster Month. Or,
That works.
We can think
Yeah.
better titles,
Yeah.
obviously, but we'll think of something.
I like that the suggested movies are Jaws, Croc, Orca, The Towering Inferno, and Gone Fishing.
With Danny Glover. Who's
With
too
Danny
old
Glover,
for
yes,
this shit.
yes.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
Oh, Gone Fishing. Him and Joe Pesci
Him
together
and,
again.
him and Joe Pesci.
Because Joe
Yeah.
Pesci can smoke underwater, which proves that Lindsay Lohan might be able to play.
Oh, she could, yeah.
The Little
Oh,
Mermaid
there's
if
Inner
she really
Space.
wanted to. Uncle Buck, What About Bob? Twins, absolutely. So,
Ooh, Home Alone 4? Come on.
I didn't even know that existed.
anyhow, Hindsighters, we will be capping off Animal Disaster Month with an absolute classic. Until then, we need Mr. Brown to make his selection for
Yes.
next week for Animal Disaster Month.
Ooh,
I'm-
all right, let me
I'm-
think about that.
I'm quite fearful as to what's going to happen. So
Would shivers technically be an animal
no,
disaster?
My little shivers, yes. Arr.
penises are not animals.
Well, you say that.
Oh God, the men attached them. However,
Yes,
anyhow, so listeners, we do appreciate you tuning in for another episode of Disaster Month, especially Animal Disaster Month, because we are just so original. We went from disasters to animal disasters. Mr. Brown, thank you for joining us, despite the fact that you
Good
had
to
to
be
wear
here.
a mask.
Yes.
You are looking like Bane, but you sounded good, if that's
Well,
any
thank you.
consolation. So we appreciate you coming in as always. And Jason, anything to add?
No, I think that's about it. I think this movie speaks for itself.
It does indeed. So in that case, Hindsighters, thank you for joining us for your drive time, your quarantine time, your listening time, your whatever kind of time. We really don't care. This has been Hindsight, and good night.